Let's bring in former Pentagon official Michael Rubin. Michael, in your estimation, who's the best candidate when it comes to foreign policy?
Well, you know, I'm not sure whether we have one. What concerns me most is that a candidate like Donald Trump is creating baggage which may be too heavy to hold. People forget that back in 2008, then Senator Obama, then Senator Biden were bashing Afghanistan, bashing Iraq as a proxy to get at Bush. We may be Teflon in Washington and the United States, but over in the region they have long memories. When they became president, it really put us in a hole. Unfortunately, that's what I worry about, is mitigating the damage which we now have as people throw fireballs in foreign policy.
But in terms of that, though, that was a hole that the president and vice president wanted to create, that they fought back against American exceptionalism, allowed the vacuum to develop in the Middle East. But do you think, despite the rhetoric from candidate Trump, would he necessarily take that? I mean, he would take a very different approach when it comes to national security and also foreign policy overseas.
Well, Dagan, I mean, Trump is a deal maker, and Senator Cruz is a deal maker. I mean, one of the things that strikes me is some of Cruz's detractors say that he's too strident, but then when he starts making deals, people call him a hypocrite. The fact of the matter is there is a streak of pragmatism there. One thing which we can say is the next president is going to be tested. That 3 a.m. phone call is going to be on speed dial. The other issue has already been resolved, and that is what's happened to Rand Paul. All this terrorism, the rise of the Islamic State, the metastasis of these problems shows that Americans want a foreign policy. They may not know what it is, but they're no longer comfortable with the isolationism that had been espoused by Rand Paul and his father before him.
Morgan.
Hi, this is Morgan. Thanks for coming on. We saw yesterday that ISIS asked their followers in Saudi Arabia to rise up against the government and to go against the Saudi kingdom. We've seen in Libya, in Tunisia, and in many of these places around the world, ISIS keeps getting stronger. And of course, we have our new allies in Iran. I say that sarcastically, that continue to harm in Syria. With all of this, with all of the world and with the Middle East somewhat blowing up, so to speak, what can we do as a Republican Party? What can we do, what can the next president do to really lead and fight ISIS the way that needs to be in order for us not to see these daily terror attacks like we just saw today in Jakarta?
Well, we've got to stop sacrificing national security upon the altar of political correctness. My criticism of our strategy now is we're focused on Iraq and Syria. That's all well and good, but if you have a chessboard, you don't want to just focus on 2 squares. Right now, the problem has expanded far beyond that. We're talking about Libya. We're talking about the Sinai Peninsula. This morning, we're talking about Jakarta. And so long as we ignore the fact that we're dealing with an ideological challenge, 22,000 people in the Islamic State from 90 different countries, we're undercutting ourselves. This is what also I worry about with Donald Trump. You know, the people who do most of the dying at the hands of groups like the Islamic State, the people who are being thrown off the buildings, they're Muslim. Our best allies are the more moderate Muslims. We can't antagonize them. We need to build that coalition against the more radical elements.
We'll all be listening for everything about foreign policy tonight, homeland security, terrorism, everything. Thank you so much, Michael. Michael Rubin joining us.
Thank you.